This session will be presented by Casey Chen. Casey graduated from RMIT with a Bachelor of Design in 1997. He is an author, painter, sculptor, and designer.
Lover?
You can ask him later on. He is a web designer and a brand consultant. His art and designs have traveled all around the world, and his most exciting work so far was an espresso cup made in Japan, commissioned by a Japanese company for an international trade exhibition in Milan in 2016. Cup. Casey was a commission artist for the Photo Events Day 2010 for public sculpture in Singapore, which is now at the School of the Arts, SOTA. And he's also an author of 3 books. Alright, so as I mentioned, this speech is 45 minutes long. At 35 minutes, our timekeeper will flash the green card. At 40, the yellow. And at 45, the red card. So when the red card comes out, as I mentioned, it's time to stop. You have 30 seconds to conclude the speech. So hope everyone is ready. Let's welcome our first speech for tonight, Casey Chen.
Yeah!
Good evening, Agora. President. This is not a speech. This is a training. Alright, so my tone will be different. Alright, now because it's a training, so I'm going to train you guys. Now, training, right? The reason why I always get excited, maybe Mr. Gay, whenever you are saying, Casey, would you like to do something for the next Agora meeting? It gets me very nervous because I have to do a lot of homework, a lot of preparation and things like that because I want to be responsible. But and again, right? And I'm telling you all this for a very good reason. I'm with the club for nearly 2 years. Time flies, you know. And when I met Mr. Gay in a networking session, the very first time we met him, shake his hand, and because I want to get I had a book, I want to introduce my book to him. And the first thing he says is that, can you speak in my club? that was the first session of Agora. You know, the timing was just right. Then to me, it's like, then, of course I can, because I thought I was a professional public speaker. I speak in public. But when I came here, then I realized that I'm just not professional. You know, and then I just get nervous, get stumbled. Like, so, okay, in short, right, the training that I had been in Agora helped me a lot. Like what Mr. Gay has said just now, how will you be in? How do you think that Agora meeting tonight will help you? The answer is, does it impact your life? And yes, Mr. Gay, it impacts mine. I was sharing the last time. Last week I was in a meeting and suddenly they point out, Casey, you do a presentation. Then I was like, whoa! Okay, this time I'm prepared because I know what is impromptu. I know how to structure my speech. I know that I will not tell you grandfather stories that is 2 hours and at the end of the day you do not know what I'm talking about. Straight to the point. Okay? So, let me give you some stories. I'm going to share with you 2 stories. Okay, I'll tell you my structure now, alright? I'm going to tell a story in my way. Okay? And then afterwards, we will discuss a little bit. Then I'll tell you another story. Then we discuss a little bit. Then I'll start to shoot arrow, or you volunteer. From there, every time, right, you present, I only give you like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? Then we will discuss from there. The faster we get, the more people will present. Now, give yourself this opportunity to learn, right? Whatever happens in this room, stays in this room. We are not going to laugh at you outside. This time I do not know. So, alright. When I was in school in diploma, alright, there's this teacher in class said, girls. Yeah. Girls, if your boyfriend invite you to his bedroom, right, go. When you get into the bedroom, look at his bookshelves. All Gundam, toys and stuff like that. Don't sleep with him. Because it's empty. Right. Right. Boys, start buying books. You got it? It's a joke. No. It's a very damn decent group that I have here. No, you see, the whole structure is this. Yes, you can buy books to impress people, but if you do not read those books, eventually you will not be able to convince the girl to go into your bedroom. Right?
Not true.
Right. So, what I want to tell you here is, you come to Agora. Maybe perhaps my friend convinced me to come to Agora meeting, you know? And I feel bad. Mr. Gay texts me like 2,000 times. You know, I can't. But will you give yourself this opportunity to learn? Or you can just tell the whole world, I'm with this speaker's club, you know, but you can't speak. You know? It's not about embarrassing Agora Club or any speaker's club, but it's about yourself. Okay? So that is, okay, now, at this end of my story, it took me only a very short time to describe to you to come to Agora and participate. You got that? So go to the point. Go to the point that you want to speak about. Anybody want to say anything? Any discussion here? No? Means you are really, really good. You know, I should start giving free gifts like last week. Now, first, number one point. Now, take note, okay, this point is going to be tested, alright? Number one, to stay focused. Stay focused to the point. The main point of telling you the story is because I want you to know that coming to Agora Club is important only when you participate. You know, that is my point, my focus point. Second, to understand. Now, understanding myself also. Understanding, is it related? Now, I create a joke, right? Which not many people laugh, but, you know, I will try harder. Then, can you get people to remember? Remember what you say. See? So what I meant is, make it short, make it sharp, and make it impactful. Right? To tell people the whole thing about your grandfather and grandmother, end of the day, you go back, hey, what is this guy talking about? So this is called impromptu speaking or telling a story. Now, let's get to my second story. Everybody know Red Riding Hood?
Yes.
Interesting. Who is the bad guy then?
The wolf.
The big bad wolf?
Yes.
Why? Come quick, why?
Bad.
Okay, I have 3 points in that walking stage. Okay, the mom, her house, B, the forest, and C, the grandma's place. Alright, now everybody think and say that. Now, the mom wants Red Riding Hood to bring this basket of food to the grandma's place to give the grandmother. Right, and the mother warns her, be careful of the big bad wolf. At point B. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. When she walks here, right, at point B and met this big bad wolf. If the big bad wolf wants to eat her up, right, can he eat her up in the forest?
Yes.
At point B.
Yes.
Why does the big bad wolf have to actually trick Red Riding Hood to walk another way, and he had to rush there and eat the sour cream to wait for the fresh ones? Why? So I say, don't assume. I'm very sure the bad guy is not the big bad wolf. I'm very sure the Red Riding Hood has seduced this guy, that this guy here, and he get done, you know, as he walked, and this big bad wolf cannot take it anymore, you know, he's so stressed out, I love this girl so much, I'm gonna get her. So who is the bad guy?
You. But guess what?
Interesting? Now, ladies and gentlemen, think about it. Okay? What I'm going to tell you is, don't ever assume anything at all. By reading the news, it might be just fake news, especially Facebook news. Correct? Or anything that I say, it might not be true. Seriously, the bad guy might be just a bad guy. Now, how about this? Do you know how many speakers event have you attended? Have you ever assumed that you can speak? Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever give yourself an opportunity to come here and speak?
No.
Okay. So you see, I use a familiar story. Correct. I structure it in a way that you may keep you thinking. Right. Then later I go to point out that, now who is the bad guy? Oh shit, I have not spent my time giving myself this opportunity to speak. You got it?
Right.
Now, okay, one last point before I get arrow you guys out, right, is this. Now, when I was preparing for this, right, I know that this is going to be a very difficult session already. The reason is because such situation, right, I go outside, I do a sales, I give an impromptu story and stuff like that. Do you know all this need experience? All this need a lot of practices. If not, where your scenario come from? Where your story come from? Or if you don't read enough books, you won't know enough stories to tell. You see, all these are practices. And again, practices and practices. So, my point is this, come on, go around and practice. Invite your friends, don't waste your time anymore. Right? So you see, my two stories, short, sharp, and I get to the point about getting you to don't assume, come and practice on speaking.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mary Sue. I'm telling a story called A Fishy Tale. This is about a Polynesian. His name was Maui. And when he was young, he was abandoned by his parents. So what happened was, eventually he was adopted by some gods who taught him magic and also some skills. He also had 4 brothers. However, his 4 brothers didn't like him much. So one day, while they were playing along on the beach, he heard the 4 brothers making a plan. Hey, let's go fishing! It's fishing time now! Their brother said, yeah, let's go in our canoe, the waka. Let's go. Where shall we go? Next week. Well, let's go. But don't bring Maui along. Now Maui was hiding behind some rocks. And when he heard this, he was so hurt. He was so hurt. But he kept his peace. After they left the beach, he stood up. Stood tall. Stood up. And he said to himself, I am going fishing as well. And I am going to use this opportunity to show my magic. So for the next few days, what he did was, he shaped the magic jawbone into a hook. He started to practice his magic, and he started to chant incantations. And the incantations are this, and you can follow after I've said the first time. Deo Gono. Deo Gono. Say together.
Deo Gono.
Deo Gono. De a la carte. De a la carte. Oh, de a la carte. Oh.
De a la carte.
Okay. Deo Gono. Deo Gono. De a la carte. De a la carte. Oh, Deo Gono. So he practiced that, and he waited for the evening when he realized they were going. So on the night, he crept into the waka, which is a canoe, and went under the floorboard. When dawn came, the brothers came, oh, it's the time to go! So they all went, they were so happy, they jumped into it, and then they went up to the fishing ground and they started to fish. One brother said, I got a salmon, the other said, I got a bream, and another one said, I got a cockapoo. And up jumped Maui said, I got a magic hook. And he threw his magic hook down into over the boat, canoe, and then he went down. And while it went down, he chanted. Everybody? further, deeper and deeper. And finally, it stuck something and it pulled. It pulled. The thing was budging. It heaved and it lunged. And finally, he felt something moving, but it was too heavy for him. So he called his brothers, "Brothers, let's forget about the past. Help me to catch." All right, and the brothers said, "Sure." And they helped him, and they caught it. And they lunged and pulled, and they've got the biggest fish they have never seen. They were ecstatic. Now, if you were Mau, how would you feel? The feeling is that you need to overcome our circumstances and at the same time forgive those who have rejected you. In doing that, you can achieve much.
All right.
Just to tell you, the island is called the North Island of New Zealand. This is from the legend of New Zealand. There's a second part to that.
Not all about money. You know, safety, your life. And so in the end, she bought the car.
Thomas, thank you very much. He can be a fantastic car salesman.
Buy from him,
But I wouldn't want to go to buy a car, right? Look at a Volvo and say, "Come bang me." Please don't come.
That's so sad.
Good evening, I'm Susan.
We know that.
It's a mosquito.
Danny!
What would you do if there's a mosquito hovering over you? Why? Why would you want to kill it?
Either it dies or we die.
Yeah. It's sucking the blood and it's potentially life-threatening.
Could be my auntie.
We'll check that it's not auntie that is you. But what do we do with the negative thoughts that are hovering in our minds? Negative thoughts such as, "Oh no, I'm not good enough, don't call me, I'm not going to present here." Or negative thoughts such as, "I'm always the one doing all this mess in this room." So these are all negative thoughts that keeps turning in our minds. What do we do with them? What have we been doing with them? So what should we do about them now? Well done. We're looking at a life coach who can help you.
My name is Peter, and last time I spent my 5 minutes in front of an audience in Agora, I was trying to sell how you get your message across.
Yes.
Some of your faces remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. The art of selling is not just convincing people that your product is safe, trying to motivate people, but connecting with the audience, building something which everybody can relate to. Any of you is Toastmaster here? And the president also highlights some of the shortfalls of Toastmaster. Indirectly. But I tell you what, that is correct as well. Because when you talk, you need to have that presence and confidence. In Toastmasters, you have that ability to practice it. In Agora, you're being put on the spot, and you can practice your elevator pitch, because that is missing at Toastmasters. That is something where everybody needs to be put up in front of. And that's where you need to be encouraged as well, to come up here, talk, bring your message across, just like if you meet your next boss in the elevator. Because wherever you go, when you go for an interview, when you go for a sales pitch or anything, in the elevator might be the person who will hire you afterwards.
Yes.
So always remember, not only to smile, but to say hello and sell yourself from the beginning on.
Highly
Thank you so much.
I have to say I'm learning a lot from Peter's short sharing. Now, can I have the next? It's Mr. Gay.
Yeah,
Mr. Gay. Everybody better listen.
Oh, louder story.
20 odd years ago, Chong Lim was about 7 years old. I got 2 other brothers, three boys, and I used to take them out. And on the way to the park, there's a little shop that sells. No. It's a bakery, so we buy buns. And one of their favorite bun is the hot dog bun. You can still remember. So we get 3 of those for 3 boys, and then 1 more for me, 1 for the mom. Interesting thing, have you ever observed children eating bun?
Yeah, they eat the sausage first.
Eat the breakfast, the other way around.
My second boy, he loves a sausage, so he'll eat the sausage first, very quickly. And then he had problem eating. My eldest boy, he loves the sausage very much. But eat the sausage last. He enjoy it thoroughly while the other boy is struggling. The third boy, he doesn't care, he's just chomp all the way. Now, what does that tell you about the future of these 3 boys if they continue that way?
Second boy will be successful.
The youngest
Save
one.
the best for the last.
Okay, if you can delay gratification, you got the highest chance of success. So this boy, he can do things he do not like first. Then later on, he get to enjoy doing things he like. That applies to us in the office as well. If you don't do the things you do not like first, your whole day will be a drag. Why? When you're enjoying the sausage you like very much, you cannot really enjoy because you're thinking of the bread later on. You cannot really enjoy as much as if you do it later. Then when you come to eating the bread part of it, you totally cannot enjoy because the fun is already gone. So your entire life is quite miserable. But if you eat the bread first, you can enjoy because you know something good is coming later on. You can actually enjoy the bread. Then when you eat the bun, the sausage, it's amazing because there's no bread coming afterwards. You can enjoy all the way to the end. So if you learn to organize your life, to know how to schedule what to do first and what to do next, you can achieve a lot more. And if you really want to achieve a lot more, sign up for my course.
Amen.
Learning from
I
her.
understand how to have a dad like that. Alright, next volunteer. I mean, I hope we are all learning slowly but steady. You know, I'm learning a lot myself by putting myself in front here once again, you know. And it's really, really difficult to give feedbacks and to get feedbacks. Alright? So I really appreciate those who want to go next. Yes.
Jimmy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casey, and good evening. My name is Jimin. Tell a story about a child. This child is in primary 2. She has a leukemia and she went for chemotherapy. So as a result of chemotherapy, her hair all dropped off. So after she got for the treatment, she went back to school and she put on her scarf to hide the baldness. So when she went to a class, primary 2 students, they look at her, they were all very mischievous. So they pull out the scarf and they were shocked, all start laughing, making fun of her. So she felt very embarrassed, this girl with leukemia, and very upset. And she went to a corner, and when she went back home, She of course complained to the mother. The mother said, don't worry, you just go to class, no? Things will be in order. No? So try to console her. And yes, next day she went to class. And what happened is that the school teacher, the form teacher, walked in. Of course, she was wearing a scarf, as is her usual practice. And then she took off her scarf, and then she was also bored. You know, so she had shaved her hair bald, and of course, all the students started laughing. But the way, because she's a teacher, she shaved her hair bald. It looks like very fashionable, very fun. So all the children started laughing, pointing out, and some children said, "Okay, I want to cut my hair bald also." It's so fun, you know? Everyone's laughing. So they were not fearful, they were not uncomfortable, and the child with leukemia also felt not upset anymore, because it's like a game. So the point I'm trying to make is this: there's this term, the possibility. There's a book written by someone talking about the art of possibility. So the art of possibility is that any situation you see, you can reframe it and think, use that same situation and see how to make a difference in life, difference in perspective. So in this case, the teacher, instead of scolding the students for being insensitive, the teacher just shave her head bald, make it like very fun, and as a result, from the same incident, she created a possibility. The possibility that it can be a fun thing, you can use this as a way to connect people. That means all the students started shaving their head and their hair started growing at the same time. So it seemed to be very fun for all these young kids. No? So the kid with the leukemia didn't feel so upset. I think mentally she's a bit better. When she grows up, she won't have this kind of like complex. So I think the important point is that whatever incident we see, whatever situation, let's look at it from another angle. What is the possibility? Can we connect people in the same incident? Can we make people happier? Make it fun? So this was quite inspiring to me when I read the article. It's like you don't scold people, you don't lecture, but you demonstrate in a certain way that people will feel inspired, and you solve the problem in a multiple aspect. Thank you.
Very impressive.
Yes, indeed.
You see, stories like that inspire us. You know, once you inspire you, you get people to listen to you, want to know more about you. Right. So, but the art of it, right, is to practice. Who wants to practice next? That's my point. That's my point. Oh, okay. Next will be you, then.
I am Lawrence Lee. Let me tell you my story. No, I'm not telling my story. Have you heard of this person? His name Malala?
Yeah.
Very good. What about the others?
Never heard of
Never heard of.
11-year-old. She's
Malala.
from Pakistan, from a town called Swat. And she's talking about girls having education. And it's a country where Taliban rule. We are fortunate here. You all can have an education. The girls say you are free. You study, you are smart. Yeah. But her, because she was so outspoken, and she even went up to BBC on 9th October 2012. A busload of girls were going home from the exam. 2 Talibans came out of the bus. "Where is Malala?" they shouted. Before she could react, they pointed the pistol at her and shot her. What happened if it's your sister? What happened if it's your cousins? And this is what can happen in a country where it's backward. And that's evil. But yet, thank God, she lived through it. She was flown, emergency, and in UAE, the Sheikh give his special plane that take her all the way to UK, to Birmingham Hospital. And she was rescued. She could have died, but she didn't. She survived. And through that time, even the doctors and nurses look at her. She didn't cry. She was strong. And she lived free. And she speaks for all those girls who don't have a chance for an education. And here we're talking about almost about 60 million girls. We are fortunate here. We don't know. Sometimes when we have the things, we take it for granted. And on top of that, she won the Nobel Prize in 2014.
Wow.
She's the youngest to win the Nobel Peace Prize. A young girl. And she was saying the Taliban, they come fierce, angry, and all that. But what brought out from her is courage and boldness. And she said, she forgave them. She's working for peace, education, and for the girls. And education makes a difference. She has a voice, and she makes use of her voice. Do we make use of our voice and make an impact in the world?
Wow.
And one important place to practice your voice is to come to our program. Kelvin, please. One last sharing from Kelvin.
Good evening, guys. I'm Calvin. I actually met Casey in the last networking event, in another event. So he invited me to Agra today, and it's a pleasure to be here and listen to all of you guys sharing such great stories and with such high inspiration. So what I want to share with you is a story of my own from about 6 years ago. I'm currently 22, but it was a story when I started when I was 16 years old. And it was a story, I would regard it as the most remarkable story of my life, and I believe it paved the foundation of my life. So the story is that I built a robotics team named JS Flawless. And we call ourselves Flawless for robotics competition. Why? Wouldn't it be arrogant to call ourselves perfect, going for a competition that we are going to be judged by our team spirit, by our team identity, as well as the work that we produce? Well, we have a different understanding of it. The reason why we call ourselves Flawless is because although we are a robotics team of 10 people, but guess what? Only 4 people actually know how to be a robot. The rest of the 6, they are comprised of people with different talents, but they are all passionate and they are all wanting to go out there and do something that will impact the world. Because that's what the competition is about. So this is why we call ourselves Flawless. Because the team is an interdisciplinary team. That's not only comprised of engineers. We have a student from Science Club who does projects but has never done robotics before. We have president of the Taekwondo. What does martial art have to do with robotics? We have singers, we have dancers, and we have designers. But because of the multidisciplinary talents and skills that we have in the team, we managed to win the national champion of the robotics team. And one of the biggest reasons why we managed to win it was because when we design a team t-shirt, we have a designer in the team. They can design a t-shirt that comprises of the team identity and let all of us wear the same t-shirt.
Wow.
When we need a team slogan, we have the I think it's the head of the prefect, and we have the president of the cadet police. They are so used to making chants and echoes that they can design a slogan for us. And when we need a team dance to display our passion and to have fun in the competition, we have the dancer who can choreograph us, the dance, and train the whole team to have fun together in the team. So this is when I realized the power of collaboration and interdisciplinary skills is so important in making something of a project, in anything, making something that's just an idea to work. When I go to universities, that's when I realized that a lot of people are building projects, but when they build projects, they don't really try to make it useful. They just want to build it to be something that's fun. But when I ask them that, why don't you try to do something that's useful? What I realized is that most of the people, the problem that they have is that a lot of us have ideas to solve a problem, but we are students. we are still training to be a specialist. We are still trying to learn a skill. So most of us, we have a part of the skill that can do the project, but they don't have the other skills to bring it to product. So this is why me and my roommate, we are currently building a platform to allow people to outsource their project work to other people, so that different people with different skills can come to our platform and do part of the work in order to bring a project to a product. Thank you.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed the last 45 minutes. My parting thoughts is this. In Agora, we have all kind of disciplined people. From insurance to salesman, car salesman, maybe one day, I haven't met a car salesman yet.
Yeah.
Oh, car salesman. Oh, you see, so we are also, and when we see and learn and hear, listen to everybody here, we learn from all platforms. Right. Thank you very much.